And here we are for the Jeddah Grand Prix formation lap. And hopefully what a great race it will be. George starts it on the front row alongside Peter for an Alpine front row lockout. Charlie takes P3, Jamie in P4 and Harry in P5. And then, as I said earlier, Callum all the way down to P20. Very unluckily, but it's a 100% race. He can surely get back up, can't he, Preston?
Yeah, he's going to be faster than the AIs. And with it being Jeddah, safety cars are bound to happen at some point. So yeah, I reckon he's up there by at least the end of the race, but if not before.
Fair enough, fair enough. He did say, though, he forgot about the setup, because, of course, we kind of rushed him on, didn't we, a bit? So he did forget about the setup, so will that be a weakness to him today?
Possibly, but he'll probably adjust it so that it's more comfortable for the race. Also, he won't be able to adjust too much, because Parc Ferme rules, but he should be able to do some adjustments to help him.
Fair enough, fair enough. But who are you expecting the most from today? Because, of course, as we say, all 6 drivers here are locked in for a potential chance at the championship, whether how big or how little. All 6 have a chance at the championship. Who's going to make the most of today?
Probably, I'd say who's going to take the most, probably one of the Alpines, but who I'm sort of looking to really make the most out of today is Jamie. Really boost his points, but not only his, but McLaren's points as well, with Callum being starting at last. Gonna really put the pressure on Jamie to really try and get some decent points here for McLaren.
Very true, very true. We will see what happens, whether Jamie can get a good start, whether he can try and overtake Charlie on the first corner. We know he starts on the left side, so he's going to have the inside line going into turn 1, as you mentioned earlier. A very big advantage when it comes to the start, but we will see how it goes. But people, the drivers are lining back up as per usual. Callum will be, unfortunately, the last one to line up. As we say, hopefully he can get back up, but we'll see what happens. But now, Callum and the Alfa Romeo is lined up. And the lights are about to go on here in Jeddah. For the 4th time within the DFL, it's 2, 3, 4 and a 5 red lights. And it's 5 red lights. And it's lights out, and away we go for the Jeddah Grand Prix, the 4th time we're here. And who's going to get an amazing start into the first corner? Jamie sends it up to P3, but Charlie fights back and gets back P3. Harry sent down to P6. Now Callum up to P18, but Charlie and Jamie fighting away here.
Jamie's... someone hit into Jamie.
Who?
I'm not sure, but he hit into Jamie, causing Peter to... Oh! There's Charlie out.
Oh my god. I saw Jamie push Charlie wide, but that was like 20 seconds before Charlie retired, and now Callum's all the way back up to P7.
He's made up massive places here. But no.
Oh my god! 3 AIs disqualified from the session.
They're stuck at Harry's incident. They can't get through. They were disqualified. No, just going back to what I was saying though. Turn 1, someone hit into the rear of Jamie, which caused him to hit into Peter, and that's why you saw Peter cut across turn 2, I believe, ever so slightly. But someone definitely hit into Jamie.
What are the guys saying? Apparently a buggy start, people all over the place. Hamilton crashed into the back of Jamie. Apparently Harry got pushed by Leclerc and his wing is damaged now. Damn. A very laggy start, apparently. Obviously, my Wi-Fi not holding up today. That's not good, to say the
Yeah, I'll
least.
say slightly different commentators, but I'm not too. I don't know about you, but mine's not too laggy. What I've seen, but obviously it's different if you're driving.
Yep, but as the rules go, there is no restarts unless most, if not all, the drivers have crashed. So unfortunately, there will be no restarts here today, and we will carry on from now on. But Harry actually sticking up for Jamie. That's something I never thought I'd see. But here we are. What a start!
Eventful, to say the very least.
You can say that again. I mean, it's worked in Callum's favour massively.
Yeah, I mean, where the AI probably got stuck, he managed to just fly past them, and he's now back up P10. There's 10 places in one lap. Granted, there was a safety car, but still.
This is absolutely maddening. I knew there'd be safety cars around Jeddah, but not at the very start.
It doesn't surprise me there was one at the start, to be honest. Everyone's so closely compacted.
Very.
Wouldn't put it past me that there was one, but yeah. The event of having 4 drivers out, that's quite something.
And I'll tell you something. By my calculations, if they're correct, I'm not sure if you say otherwise, but by my calculations, Callum is separated by Charlie by only 25 points. Charlie has gone out. If Callum could somehow, someway pick up the win today, he goes second in the championship.
Yeah. Even if not, he does really close that gap down. As long as he scores decent points, 10th place is not going to cut it. But I'd say probably 5th place onwards is decent points to really cut down that lead that Charlie has on him.
Yep. If he can get like 15, if he can get 3rd or 2nd, that's going to be pivotal. Obviously, yeah, what I'm trying to say, I said it wrong. Obviously, anything above 5 is great. But if it gets him a podium, that's massive points.
Yeah, we can really start putting the pressure on Charlie. I know he said that he might miss next race, but it's he's going to gain more points that he's going to lose in the next race, if you get what I mean.
Yep. But a very unlucky time for Charlie. A very... it's not Canada season 1 bad lag. It's just a very unlucky time.
Yeah. We've had worse scenarios. And safety cars now in. Yeah, we've had worse scenarios, but it's just Charlie's been the worst one off this so far. There's quite a few drivers saying they have wing damage, but obviously being out of the race of 100% race is a lot worse than being able to just box and recover the time he lost in the pits.
Yep. But, people, it's a green flag. And we're back under racing conditions. Will George get a great start here? He's weaving, he's turning, he's holding the guys up. And now he pounces and tries to build that gap on Peter. But can Peter come back and get the overtake on George? He's trying his best to close it up, but it doesn't look like it. However, Harry is going for the overtake on Charles Leclerc. He's going around the outside and he's back up to P3.
Yeah, nice and clean between them. Nothing too dangerous. Jamie also made a place on the other Ferrari teammate, Carlos Sainz. So he's going to be putting pressure on Charles Leclerc next as well.
Very true, very true. An unlucky time for sure for the Ferraris, but can Jamie make it past the other one? It looks like it, round the outside again, and up to P4, now pressuring the Red Bull of Harry. He will be wanting that overtake done very quickly, but at the same time, the other McLaren of Callum got the overtake on the Alfa Romeo of Valtteri Bottas up to P9.
Yeah, very clean from both of them. Didn't see a problem with either overtake.
That's what we like to hear. We don't want dirty overtakes. We want clean overtakes. Just as George and Peter are going battling. I saw Peter get shafted down to P2. Did he overtake him?
Yeah, I think he ever so slightly probably just got ahead of him for a brief moment, but George managed to take it back.
George being very efficient, that's for sure. But Jamie massively staying on Harry's tail, whereas Harry is losing major time on Peter. That's not going to be good for Harry, especially because DRS, I believe, is about to be enabled, if not the next lap. If Harry cannot get away from Jamie, Harry won't get DRS, and Jamie will.
Yeah, but the problem is, Jamie's flying through his battery at the moment. Harry's still got nearly a full battery, and Jamie's nearly empty already. So Harry's going to have that defense mechanism in his battery, which should keep Jamie away.
Very true, very true. It's a very big disadvantage for Jamie, and probably I'd say a big, not a problem with him. But you get what I'm trying to say. Jamie uses up all his battery, but as he's going for it, he may be going for the overtake.
Yeah, probably an area for him to improve, just to conserve his battery a bit better. But otherwise, yeah, it's not the end of the world if you do use your battery, but you also miss out on certain areas of speed.
Very true, very true. But who's going to get the next overtake? I didn't see it, but I see Callum is now past the AI of Lance Stroll up to P8 now, hunting down Lewis Hamilton, of course, back in the Mercedes after Carl and Bradley unfortunately left the league. But, of course, Lewis Hamilton is back in, and Callum spins Lewis out. Oh, we got a bit of a blockade going on here.
They want to be careful because they might get disqualified for staying still too long.
Will that be a safety car? Because a huge blockage. I think it's been freed up now. I see a little bit of a wing come off, but nothing too serious. Now Callum jumps up to P7.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for Callum now because look at the gap. He was chasing them and now he's got a 13-second gap. Not what he would have wanted.
Very true, very true. But we know he can come back. We know he is skilled enough to do it. So we'll see whether he can do it or not. Who knows? But Jamie still staying on the tail of Harry, even with getting to the bare bones. Callum spun out. Do not have an unsafe pit entry. Oh, that's close. Back down to P14.
All his work lost there and then.
That setup definitely coming as a disadvantage.
Yeah, a bit. But I reckon that incident with Hamilton probably didn't help him at all. But now after spinning, his tyres are going to be incredibly hot. So he's got to take every corner carefully.
Very true, very true. But now they're back on the straight. I see Jamie trying his best with the DRS to close in on Harry, but he just cannot pull it in front because Jamie's at, again, the bare bones of his ERS. Whilst Harry has his ERS.
That's Callum spun again.
What is going on?
And yeah. That's him now last.
What is going on today with him?
Jamie's not spun.
Oh my god!
Hit. Oh, that's a safety car. Most Ferraris are going. I do feel for Jamie because there was nowhere for him to go there. He had spun it and hit the wall on the right hand side, and the Ferrari just went straight through him.
The problem is, unlike a time penalty, I can't take away a drive through penalty because working out where he would be impossible.
Yeah, the drive-through is unfortunate. Safety car obviously come into play, so he's not going to be able to serve that while safety car's out. Yeah, both McLarens being at the back. It's not ideal in the slightest.
Not at all. Not at all. Not a good start to this race.
Oh, he does get past. Okay. I'll just have a look to see whether Callum might end up taking the safety car with him, but he doesn't. He doesn't get held behind it.
That's what we like to see. He is on the hards now, so he has pitted. So obviously getting a new wing, getting new wheels. This could be a very big advantage for him if he can hold it.
For now, maybe. I don't know about for now, but eventually it will come into play as a advantage. I think that's Harry as well, possibly going on hards.
Is it the hards or is it?
What?
No, they're the mediums.
Oh, I've gone to mediums. So is Jamie. All the AIs that want softs now pitting as well. I'm not sure, it was Harry on softs?
No, I swear he's on mediums, wasn't he?
Harry was on softs and went to mediums.
Ah, that's interesting.
He also repaired his front wing.
Again, not a good start to this race for anyone, apart from the Alpines, I would say. But even so, a big disadvantage for them as well, because of the safety car. They're now having to get a good getaway again.
Yeah, it's true. And the one thing I didn't notice, though, is that George is on the mediums, whereas Peter's on the hards. So alternative strategies, maybe, here, to keep at least one of the Alpines leading this race.
Yeah, when one goes into pit, the other one can stay out, and then when the other one goes into pit, the other one can stay out.
The other one should have caught up by the time the other one goes to pit, or at least be close enough.
Exactly. Could be a very good call here, if it can pay off. But, at the same time, Peter's now under threat of Harry having those mediums when Peter's on hards. Harry will have more pace.
Harry will, but bearing in mind that those hards would have warmed up by now, because what's that, 8 laps on them? So yeah, those hards will be warm, but you just got to maintain the heat in the tyres whilst the safety car's going around. He doesn't want to cool them down, but otherwise, yeah, he should be alright, because once those hards are fired up, there should be a decent pace.
Very true, very true. But we have officially, I believe, if my calculations are correct, 41 laps left to go. We've still got a while for this race. A lot can happen, a lot can change. A lot of positions can be lost, a lot of positions can be gained. You don't want to turn this video off yet, do they, Preston?
No, not yet. Considering that, 4 drivers won't score points in this race? Now the 14 that are left.
Yep.
It shows who's really going to score most points.
But if Callum, Peter, Harry and Jamie do really well today, they'll catch up on Charlie.
And possibly Callum.
Yeah.
Depending on Callum's end result.
That will really bring the championship to its head.
It will, but it also won't, in the same regard that George being first doesn't help anyone in order to try and get ahead in this championship.
That is something no one can deny, especially with Charlie being out. Callum currently third place in the championship, but only but being 14th, right now George will be running away with it no matter who gains what points.
Yeah. What's the gap? Is that 38 points between Callum and George? And that's without taking into account whoever gets what in this race. Oh, that was very lucky from Callum there.
Actually,
safety car in that.
You actually know it's 39 points because of pole point, but now George gets away nicely. But will Peter potentially go for the overtake on his turn? He won't. He keeps back in P2. Harry potentially going for the overtake on Peter, potentially. Who knows? Jamie gone away down due to the pit, however.
Yeah, just do this drive-through, didn't he?
Oh, yeah. I think we'll get back up. I generally think that, but who knows? We'll have to see how it goes, won't we?
Fingers crossed. We don't want to see drives split up too much, but Harry's now going to be on the tail of those Alpines. How long he can stay there for? Unsure, because both Alpines showed strong pace and quality, and all season really. We'll have to see how well they do.
Very true. Of course, it's no longer a streak, but Harry will be looking for his third win here. But as you say, the likelihood of it is very, very low. So we'll see how he can try and keep up the pace. I mean, beating him with mediums against the hards of Peter, he will stay in time, I reckon. But it's going to be a very tough job for him.
Yeah, Harry's just set a purple middle sector. He's flying at the moment.
He does love Jeddah. We know that.
Yeah, we do know that.
But now Callum up to P11 here, making his way swiftly through the AI again, but hopefully holding it together this time.
Fingers crossed for another Hamilton incident.
Oh, don't say it. It'll be commentator's curse again.
There is Hamilton. Oh, they're 2 places away.
Now only one as Callum goes round on the inside.
Keep it clean. Keep it clean.
That's all we want now, Callum. Can you try your best, please? I beg of you. Oh my god. But now Callum will hopefully catch up in no time. Jamie falling a bit off though with the time.
Yeah, I think. No, he's got fresh tyres, so yeah, he's maybe just struggling a little bit. He hasn't got anyone near him to really slipstream off of, so he's struggling in that regard. But yeah, he's slowly bringing that time down.
Fair enough, fair enough. And as you say that, Callum is currently battling with away with Lewis Hamilton. Cannot pull in front of him. Hopefully, as we say, keeping it clean. But now Callum falls a bit behind again. Trying his best, though.
Yeah, Harry's staying only ever so slightly in DRS of Peter. The speed of Alpine is just not really competitive compared to everyone else, really. Harry's trying his best on those fresher tyres, but I just don't think he really can keep up that well.
And there, DRS is enabled. Peter won't have DRS, but Harry will next time round. So that's going to be a massive, massive disadvantage to Peter unless he can get Harry out of DRS range.
Yeah, Harry's going to be trying all he can, but we'll soon see, because he was closer before on the previous lap, so maybe Peter can just get him out of it for the next lap, which he currently has.
Will Harry be able to pull himself back in, or will this be...
Oh! You managed to rescue that. That could have been much, much worse there.
That could have been fatal. He really has saved himself there, for sure. He should count himself very lucky, but he is now outside any chance of getting anything out of Peter, I would say, because he's just losing time and more time, and you know, because Peter's just that quick alongside George.
Yeah, sorry. I was just watching Callum as he did get the move on Lewis and Latifi. did try and make a bit of a brave move to Bottas. Got squeezed against the wall a bit. Had to yield, but now should get the move done going to the next corner.
Was it, I may be wrong here, but was it Jeddah Season 3, he went from 20th to near 4th or something?
Could have been. I can't quite remember.
Because I remember him not happy with me because I didn't mention it. And now I think back to it, and I think it was Jeddah that he did go from 20th all the way to about 4th. As he gets the overtake on Valtteri Bottas up to P7 on the inside, nice clean overtake, and near wheel contact there, but he survives that. But he's doing exactly the same thing now.
And P4 is still on the cards.
Maybe even further.
Possibly, if Harry's luck runs out a little bit.
Who knows, but now Jamie is back within DRS range of Zhou Guan Yu. I'm sure he'll be able to get this overtake in no time, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, just like Callum, he'll be able to go through that AIs with no problem at all, really, as long as he doesn't make contact with them.
Very, very true. But Harry is completely... Oh, is he actually gaining back time?
I think he is.
Because I swear he's on about...
He gains it in some areas and then loses it in others.
Yeah, I was about to say, I swear he was on 6 seconds. I know he's on like 5.9 now, but he's still clocking down the time. Very slowly. But who knows, of course, no DRS for Peter due to not being within that DRS zone, DRS range of George. But maybe that's a tactical idea of sort of keeping Peter outside of the DRS range and letting, so Peter can potentially defend off Harry, and who knows, we'll have to see what happens. But now I see Jamie dropping off a bit down in P14, but the other McLaren of Callum gaining on Sebastian Vettel with the DRS pulls to the inside and a nice clean overtake once again, but takes it a bit wide there.
Could slow down in time, he's a bit fast going into there, but takes the run off. He's not any problem in re-entering there, really.
Very true, very true. Tried to pull out Lewis Hamilton and break the latest he could. And it didn't really work out.
Yeah, I think Jay must have spun. Well, we might not have realised or hit something because he's just changed his ring in the pits. So it's not his day at all.
I hate to say it, but if you think back to Jeddah Season 2, it's happening all over again. He was in a McLaren in Season 2 with Ritvic in Jeddah, and he kept having to pit for new wings. He had a drive-through that didn't go correctly because it was under safety car. He didn't realise drive-throughs were not servable under a safety car. It wasn't his day, and it's slightly happening again.
Yeah, it's not really gone well for him at all. He's just been caught up in incidences that aren't really his fault, really. He did spin with the Ferraris, got collected again there. Didn't see what happened with him just now with Guan Yu Zhou, but something happened because he lost time and then had to pit for a new wing. So yeah, it's just not really going his way, is it?
Not at all, not at all. But now let's just quickly move on to the other McLaren as Callum once again is going for the overtake. But on an AlphaTauri of Pierre Gasly, this time goes on the inside as per usual and gets the overtake nicely. Doesn't brake too late there. And that's a nice clean overtake again.
Yeah, there's a slight bit of contact with Gasly had with Callum, but apart from that, it was a Callum fault and you just got the move done.
That's what we want. We want nice clean racing. Yes, as you say, there's a bit of wheel contact, but it was still nice clean racing, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't think Callum was at fault at all. It was more Gas to try and turn in on him, but
very true. We know what the AI is
going to be
like.
closing down.
Very true. Hopefully, we see the Callum versus Harry battle very soon, because that will be a close battle for what could potentially be Harry gaining on Callum in the championship. But with Peter and P2, right now, Peter is the one gaining on Callum if it stays like this.
Yeah. It will be Peter gaining, which is a bit unfortunate for Callum, but I think he's still got enough points gap to not have to worry about losing a place today, but come Imola, it could all change.
Especially with the fact that Callum may not be there. That will affect things massively.
Yeah. Gasly's now just sticking to Callum. A bit like I mentioned a bit earlier, where it's just if you're stuck to the back of the car, you can literally just be towed along. He's really got to try and break that DRS of Pierre Gasly in order to really push away. Because he did gain time on Harry. He was down to about 13 something seconds. Obviously now losing it for fighting with Gasly.
A very an unlucky time right now for I was about to say Gasly, for Callum. But as we know, he can pull away. We know he can get away. I mean, he already has. Pierre's already out of DRS range, so Callum's got this sorted, 100%. But George has just, and Peter have both managed to keep P1 and P2 this entire race so far.
Yeah, I think it's slight case of others having issues, instant spins, whatever else, and them gaining time, but also just the fact that they're just so fast today. Don't think anyone really has an answer for it.
Neither. That's all. And hopefully, come season 5, we'll bring in some more potential. This is not a confirmation, this is a maybe, because I actually don't know yet, but we're looking for potential more competition to bring in this season, or season 5, for the guys to face and to battle George right now, basically. Why not?
Yeah.
I mean...
Could be. It would be interesting, because currently right now Georgia storms away, but an interesting one to keep an eye on.
That's very true. I mean, last race we look back, Connor was staying up there with George, was keeping up.
Yeah, I think he had a couple of issues, didn't he? And then, yeah, unfortunately, wasn't able to take the win.
But nonetheless, he was keeping up, and as long as he sort of knocks out those little issues of spinning out and having those incidents, he could be a challenger to George next season. If George, I believe George has confirmed he's staying on next season, so next season, if Connor stays on, could be a complete challenger for him.
It's true, yeah.
And now, I'd like to clear it up. I'm not saying you guys aren't competition. I'm saying you are. I'm just saying we'd like to add more competition, because more competition makes the series more interesting. In 3 seconds, I'm going to see for Jamie here.
Yeah, he's just been cutting those corners in Sector 1 a lot. It's very hard to really try and perfect on controller. Yeah, you've got to feel bad for him. Other people haven't quite been affected too much by it. No doubt there'll probably be a couple of warnings dished out to those controller users.
Very true, very true. But right now, if it was to stay like this, I don't think there wouldn't be any actual change to the championship, would there be? I mean, there wouldn't be in the constructors either, because you've got the 2 Alpines on top, the Red Bull coming in thirds, and then the McLaren 4th, so there'd be no change in it either.
Yeah, there wouldn't really be a change, I think. Everything would just close up, but I don't think there'll be an actual change as things stand.
Very true, very true. And I'm not sure if you lot have seen, but of course, you know, with the Discord, I post the actual full tables in there, you know, for all of you to see. But if you follow my Instagram, you see I post these very nice looking little tables of our drivers changing positions and stuff. The credit all goes to Preston, just as the trailers did. You know, I'm gonna give you the credit right now, because the trailers were awesome. Like from season 1, the Abu Dhabi trailer in season 1, his credit. Season 2 trailer, his credit. Season 3 finale trailer, him again. Season 4 trailer, him again, and now he's making these. And I mean, if we go back to the season 1 as well, and start of season 2, all those thumbnails you see are him as well. Don't know how the guy does it. How'd you do it?
Just attempt something.
Well, yes. I just thought I'd just like to say all credit goes to him. I don't make any of them because I'm not skilled enough to do that. But yes, go follow him on TikTok, on Instagram, whatever. You know what? If he wants you to, he may not want you to. He may say bugger off. I don't want you to follow me. But just refuse that and go follow him anyway, because you know, showing me appreciation. You know, we like to appreciate the drivers and the commentators and everyone in the DFL. So go and show everyone, especially Preston, the absolute support that everyone deserves, and George's TikTok as well. Go follow it. You know, why not? We're trying to branch out here. Just saying. And that is my filler message for whilst we have basically nothing going on. I hope you enjoyed that, Preston.
Well, thank you very much for it anyway. But yeah, there's not really much going on. No one's really closing the gap.
It's kind of a dead race, ain't it? For a full race. Kind of expected more.
At the moment, yeah, it's kind of a little bit stagnant at the moment, but not to say it won't be towards the end, because that's what normally happens with these 100% stuff. Normally starts off exciting, dies off a little bit, and then picks up again towards the end.
Exactly. If you were racing next season, I'm not saying you are, I'm just saying if you are, because you don't know yet, do you?
No.
If you are, or if you're not, either way, would you be against more 100% races? Like maybe, let's say we have, let's say we have a 24 race season somehow, if that's even possible. Like I'm trying to do math here. Every 6 races is a 100% race. I would say every 3, but that's kind of too much.
I won't be against it. Obviously, it'd have to depend on what they are, because I wouldn't want 100% in Monaco.
Are you sure? Are you sure?
I'm adamant on that one. Apart from that, yeah, I think it would be good. I do like 100%, just go. It does get a little bit dead towards the middle, but you sort of can recover if you have a mistake. Obviously, if you DNF, there's no recovering that, but
I mean,
take Callum, for example. He started last, went up again, spun, hit Lewis, does another safety car. He's sort of getting back up all those places again, and now look, he's P4.
very true, very true. Another prime example. I know he's left the league now, but it's Bradley in Bahrain. He was all the way down. A safety car happened. Although he was a whole minute behind, he still managed P9.
Yeah. That's just shows you evidence that you literally can just gain on your mistakes that you may have.
Exactly. And why wouldn't you want a chance? I mean, look at it right now. If we were at our normal race, like right now, it would be ending around the 30 lap mark, wouldn't it? That wouldn't be enough time for Jamie to come back up. But you see he's moving up already. He's going to have an extra 20 laps. That'll be enough time for him to get up, if he can.
Yeah, if it was the 50%, we'd literally be finishing in 4 laps time. So it's not great, because you could basically almost rule out Jamie from any points, and basically anyone else from gaining. The only one who could really say if maybe Peter catches George if it was to end in 4 laps time, or 3 laps now. So So yeah, it's nice that it's 100%. I don't really think anyone's going to touch these Alpines, though. They're just almost a pit stop ahead of everyone. But who knows? There's all to play for.
Very true, very true. But we mentioned Jamie, but he's just got an overtake on the Aston Martin of Sebastian Vettel, slowly making his way back up, hopefully.
Hopefully. We don't want to see him last, but can't have any more of those spins or corner cuts, that's just saying.
But now some of the AI's pitting, that will definitely work to Jamie's advantage. That should shoot him up definitely 2 places, I would say, if he can get ahead in time to go up to at least P11. Yep, I was correct. I was like, hold up, will it be P10? No, it's P11, Daniel. Get your maths correct. The maths is clearly not mathing in my head. But yes, he's now P11.
Only 2.1 seconds off the next car.
And he's on the hards. Of course, you know, they're already, 9-lap old hards. They'll probably last until, correct me if I'm wrong, 20 laps? So he could probably get another to about lap 41. I'd say pit, then 42, and then go on softs, and then bam, you rise up again.
Depends where he is. If he's near the front, I'd probably just say stick on his tyres.
But it also depends on how much they're gone, how much they're worn. You know, if they're like 70% worn, you should pit then, surely.
Yes. Depending on your confidence in the tyres. Because sometimes they say 70%, but you could easily just... Oh, hello. Jamie went flying through there. Yeah, sometimes you can just still control the car. It's not too... Like, the brakes aren't too hard and stuff like that, so... It just depends on your confidence in the car, really. Obviously, sometimes, like, 50% still, like, you got no grip at all. So you have to see. I personally probably wouldn't, in my opinion. I'd probably just stick on the same tyres. But he might find it a little harder, so we'll have to see.
Fair enough, fair enough. We'll see what happens. But Harry did just pit. And once again, on the mediums. A second stint on the mediums.
Yeah, I mean, he might make them stretch. I don't know. He doesn't have to change onto a different tyre, remember, because he started on softs. So he's done his different tyre change. I just don't really know whether it can last over half a race on those mediums.
Fair enough, fair enough. We'll have to see what happens. But with Harry pitting, can we seriously just talk about the gap between Callum and Peter right now? 43 seconds.
Yeah. Funny part is that Peter's really sort of having the same speed as George. He's always been within like 2.8 to 3 seconds, something like that. Like, he hasn't really fell off from George. So both Alpines showing they've got serious pace.
Could. I'm not saying this is going to happen, because I'm not counting out the other 5. The other 4, sorry. Maths isn't mathing again. The other 4. But could Alpine get the ultimate, the biggest goal this season of getting P1 in the championship, P2 in the championship, and P1 in the Constructors' Championship, all in the same season?
I mean, I wouldn't say no, because it's still possible, and the way they're going, it probably could happen, but I wouldn't rule out the likes of Callum, Charlie, Harry, them lot, Jamie as well, just because all it takes is a couple of bad races and that dream's over for Alpine. We've seen the past. Not to say Peter would do it again, but we've seen Peter hit into the Red Bulls, DNF himself. George has missed a couple of races. So I'd still say it's all to play for. I wouldn't rule anyone out, and I wouldn't start saying it's on the cards just yet. When it gets closer to the end, maybe start talking about it then.
Fair enough, fair enough. I like your thinking. But we are at the halfway point of the race. Currently, Jamie stands in P6, getting the overtake on Sebastian Vettel. I was about to say P7, but he's gone and got the overtake, a very clean overtaking Matt. Sebastian not able to fight back, but Jamie once again had the bare bones of his ERS.
Yeah, unfortunately. He is, but to his close is Harry on Callum now.
Yes, yeah. He is very close.
He's right on the back of him.
He's got the DRS as well. Don't let this be a crash, boys. Let's just get a good, clean fight here, please. Oh! Oh! I am... What?
Yeah, I'm just stunned.
I don't know whose fault that was. Did Callum try to block him off and Harry just had too much pace?
Hey, Harry's just pit.
He has to. His wing's damaged. Whose fault was that?
I don't know. I think that he's going to have to go into the stewards.
Damn.
Yeah. Wow.
I'm gonna.
You did say shortly before that keep it clean and next corner along.
Commentators
Callum's round again.
Oh. Oh no.
Yeah, there's his wing damaged. His wing's no damage. Just saw the end plate come off.
This is a field day for the Alpines.
Gazzy's now on the back of Callum.
I mean, everything is working in their favour. Crashes between Harry and Callum. Charlie going out. Jamie and Callum spinning out. Everything is working in their favour.
Yeah, for the first time, there's now a gap between Peter and George.
Because George pitted, that's why.
Yeah, and that's because he pit, but that's how close they've been the whole race. Nothing's happened between the two of them. Yeah, it's just Alpine have just been the clean drivers, kept to themselves, and yeah, well, safety car would bring it all back into the equation again, though.
Callum's just put on. Just check the group. Just the way he puts it is funny. Yeah, a yellow sector 3 here. It's a McLaren.
Jamie.
Oh, not again. A severe collision with...
His wing's gone as well.
What is this race? I swear, somehow, somewhere, it's not possible to fix an F1 race. But somehow, someway, the Alpines have paid off the AIs or paid off someone to make something happen.
That's a bit of a stretch, but
I mean,
yeah, it's not looking good. I mean, James on the softs, they're not going to last.
Has he made a bad call there?
I don't know. I don't know if it's just a case of he's ran out of tyres. But yeah, they're not going to last. if you think that all the AI is boxed on their medium, around 16 and 17, lap 16, 17, that was enough for them. You saw George really go 20 odd laps on his mediums, and that was enough for him. And their mediums, it's now 22 laps on softs. If Jamie can pull it off, fair dues, but I don't see it happening.
Neither.
And not at least to a competitive level. You might be able to trundle it back home, but
what has actually happened this race? I'm just stunned. Honestly, I am stunned. I mean, Peter's pitting now, so George will overtake him.
Pitting, but there's probably going to be a bigger gap to when George pit. Have a look when it next forces out. Yeah. Oh, as much as Peter's probably going to be on the faster tyre now. George, there was a gap of about 3 seconds, didn't we say? Something like that? 2.8, 3 seconds, something like that. So, yeah, George really come out best out of the two Alpines from that. But, yeah, like I said, Peter's going to be on the faster tyre. He should be able to make up that time.
I have to say, I'm sorry, but 1 minute ahead of Harry.
Yeah, bear in mind, every other driver, I think, has done 2 stops. Yeah. The only person to do 1 stop from Harry onwards is Sebastian Vettel. Everyone else has been into the pits 2 or more times.
Oh my god! I mean, Harry's clocking it down, but he won't be able to clock down 54 seconds.
No, that's a safety car job.
I bet you're so glad you're commentating this season.
Yeah, that was wow. Shit, Alpine dominance this season, hasn't it? Really, if we're being honest.
It's like Red Bull in the actual F1 season right now. I know by the time this is out, it might completely change. But as I said, we've only just released not French, but I keep getting the two confused. The Silverstone Grand Prix. So we're only on the 23rd of April right now, and right now Red Bull are dominant in the actual F1. So it's basically like a Red Bull, but in our case, Alpine.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. There's just sheer dominance. Whether that can change towards the end, hopefully. We don't really want to see dominance. But you can only give really plaudits to Alpine, can't you? How good they've been.
Yep. And this will shoot Peter up. I mean, he'll get 18 points from this race, won't he? So he will shoot up to 96 points. And if I doubt Callum will stay where he is, but if he does, he will only be 12 points up.
Callum cannot race.
I know, I saw. Trying to tend to ignore that for the viewership.
Yeah, he's struggling with his car, so not good news at all.
No, not at all. We'll just say internet issues. But
yeah,
it's what it is. And we'll see what happens. But Callum is going for the overtake now on Sebastian Vettel. If he can pull in front, who knows? We'll have to see. Of course, they're both on equal tyres. And they're basically both at equal skill level now, aren't they? So, who's going to come ahead? Hopefully Callum, getting back into points. Who knows? But, I really think because Callum may be missing next race, Peter might just overtake Callum next race in the championship.
It's very possible.
Oh, and Callum gets the overtake on Sebastian Vettel, pulls in front nicely on the outside of the Aston Martin and gets that successfully. But Sebastian will now get DRS. Was it probably more wise to hold back for Callum? I'm not sure. We'll have to see how this corner turns out.
Yeah, it's got to another bit of a dead point in the race again, hasn't it?
Yep, I mean, Jamie's, 17 seconds behind Mick Schumacher. Callum's slowly building his way back up. And Harry's just being Harry, 58 seconds behind Peter. Peter's managing to stay, not losing or not gaining time onto George. So nothing's changing.
Yeah, he was ever so slightly just notching down that time when George. It was like 7 seconds when he came out of the pit, so slowly, but not enough really.
I mean, Peter is coming
Oh.
off. Oh! Oh! Was
It's
that
just a virtual?
what happened?
I don't know. It's yes, a virtual safety car. But why? Is it Jamie maybe?
I think I saw a McCallum. McLaren.
Yeah, Jamie's wing's gone.
It's not a good race for Jamie, is it?
No.
It is Jeddah Season 2 all over again. It really is. Go back and check the old seasons if you haven't. But yeah, it is Jeddah Season 2 all over again for Jamie. You just need Ritvic in that car and it's perfect.
It's green lights again.
But nothing will change. That has taken Peter down to an 8-second gap, set Harry back to a gap of 1 minute. Jamie now at a 21-second gap. The only one who's basically gained an advantage from that is Callum, I would say.
Yeah. Everyone sort of slowed down to be within their delta time. And is that Harry? Harry's DNF'd.
Oh my god.
Is that a manual? Was that a retirement? I think it is a retirement. That wasn't crash. He did just retire.
A technical issue then. First time ever. A technical issue has affected one of our drivers.
Either that or he just gave up.
Why would he give up though? He's in P3. That was massive points for him within the championship.
Didn't say he's speaking now.
Callum does get ahead of Valtteri Bottas to get up to P7. Nice overtake by Callum to get past, I believe, Nicholas and Valtteri there. Callum, I think Harry is admitting fault for the incident between Callum and him, but Harry's a crash again, so retired.
And so it was just giving up then.
So really, can we just do the maths really quickly? I don't think there's no chance for McLaren to get ahead of Red Bull unless Jamie can somehow pull it back, but McLaren can still gain on Red Bull within the constructors right here.
Yeah, obviously, because every point matters, but it might be down to about 20, I think.
You went very
Nice.
quiet there, by the way.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I think it would only go down to about 20 points difference. I know it's not 20 now, but don't see McLaren's gaining too much points on them.
Harry, though, admitting fault for the incident is that conclusive proof for it was Harry's fault and we should give him a penalty, or do we still need to review the footage?
Probably just review it to see the severity of it.
Oh, Callum going for P5 now. And he does, he gets ahead of Lance Stroll. He's up to P5, getting 10 points here today.
And P4 is not off the cards. Or podium, really, I'd say. We can get P4, we can get P3.
He could not only decrease the gap between him and Charlie within the drivers, but really pull McLaren back into the fight for second place within the constructors.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, obviously Alpine just extended their gap on it, but the other places are up for grabs.
I'm sure McLaren won't say no to a second place within constructors season. Of course, first place would be much better, but they won't say no to a second place.
Exactly, yeah.
But 15 laps remaining. As it goes on and on, I'm not sure if you find this after a while of commentating, but the further it gets on in race, the slower and slower the laps get.
Yeah, I think it's just you wanting drama, overtakes, incidents, summon. Which unfortunately we don't have. There's yellow sector 3.
It's one of the Alpines. It's Peter!
And that's a safety car.
Which pulls the McLarens completely back into this. I know there's two AIs between Callum and Peter, and I know how quick the Alpines can be, but Callum has a major chance here. So does Jamie getting back into it. The McLarens could really pull something back here. And Peter's pitting for a new wing.
So it's a 3-second gap for Jamie. 3-second penalty. He does need a 3-second gap in order to really benefit from it.
This safety car will determine the whole race, I'd say.
Yeah. I wouldn't say there was... I mean, it could happen, but I wouldn't say there'll be another one after this. This probably is everyone's last chance at just getting as many places.
Yeah, and I'm not saying the Alpines will lose on their 1-2, because although I hate to say it, I don't think that will happen.
No, they're too far ahead.
Oh, it was Peter's wheel again. It happened in Bahrain, it DNF'd him, and it disconnected again. But luckily he was able to save it this time. His wheel does not like 100% races.
No, not so.
That is going to be a major disadvantage if we do more 100% races next time, but who knows. But that Haas now in between the two Alpines. That Haas will get blue flagged, but it will hold up Peter a little bit, but it will allow George to get away. But at the same time, it might bring Callum back into it a tiny bit, because hopefully he'll be able to overtake Pierre Gasly and Lewis quickly.
Yeah. Not too sure about trying to get Peter, because I think the pace that they're showing is just something else. But he could easily secure a comfortable P3.
What about Jamie?
Jamie's a bit of a tricky one, because I think, if I'm not mistaken, he is lapped.
Yes, because look, he's further ahead than Pierre Gasly and Lewis on the map. And he's gaining on... Yeah.
So, somehow he's really got to get ahead of the people in front of him, but he's also lapped at the same time, so it's going to be a tricky one.
Hopefully, Michael Massey decides to let all the cars unlap themselves this time, not just the ones in between first and second.
Yeah.
But who knows? But if the cars can unlap, Zed, this is a brilliant chance for McLaren to gain some great points here for the constructors, to bring it back with both Red Bulls getting DNF'd. This is a massive opportunity. This is also an opportunity for Alpine to get further away from Red Bull.
Yeah. Red Bull just obviously both drivers out. Game over for them today. But for everyone else, it's game on, really.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And we will see what happens within the next few laps. Hopefully the safety car does go in this lap. I don't think it will. I think it'll be next lap. But hopefully it goes in this lap so we can get back under racing conditions, because there's 13 laps left right now. Probably get back underway at 12 or 11. And then it's all to play for these guys.
Yeah. It will be next lap, I reckon, it comes in. But like you said, all to play for. Jamie's stuck. It's him and Mick, isn't it? They're the two drivers that are stuck in the rest of the pack. So they've got to really move. Which doesn't help Jamie because he can't gain if he has to move out of the way for other drivers. And unfortunately his teammate is literally 3 cars down.
Oh, it looks like Peter may be having some problems as well.
So
we could get them in for the end bit. Although Peter's in call with George, ain't he? So I don't think it's going to happen. Come on, we just want the safety car to go in, please. Can't take this long. The only thing I would say is it may be good, Callum, having Jamie there, because Jamie can hold up Pierre and Lewis, so Callum gets 2 easy overtakes. You know?
yeah. Sorry. Just reading what they're saying.
I mean, I don't know, but it could happen. Could happen. Who knows? Please be safety car in this lap. It can't go on for much. Oh, yes,
Yeah.
finally. Right, people. I would say for the final 11 laps, we are about to go under racing conditions. Safety car is going in. And what an ending to this race you're about to see. I hope you enjoy it. Because, people, it is a green light. And who will get the better start here? George leads the pack, weaving and waving as he did before. And he is off. But with Mick Schumacher just behind him. But Mick gets blue flagged. Lets Peter pass. But now Jamie is about to go. What is Jamie doing? He's basically suicide bombed Mick Schumacher. Probably shouldn't say that on DFL, but here we are. What? Can Callum take advantage of this? I see Jamie going very wide. What is Jamie doing? He's not even up there. But now Callum zooms past not just Lewis Hamilton, but will it be Pierre Gasly as well? It's looking like it. Round on the inside. No, Pierre just gets ahead of him, and so does Lewis.
Can't get the move stuck, so he's stuck on the wrong side of the track. And yeah, Lewis gets ahead.
I'm sorry, but what is Jamie doing?
Jamie can't drive, he's missing that wing. Can't keep control of his car.
A very unlucky time for him for sure. But now Callum is trying all he can to secure this P3, to secure the podium all the way down from P20 at the start of this race. Raised up a 5-second penalty for ignoring the blue flag for Jamie. Callum's got past Lewis Hamilton. Will he make it stick for Pierre Gasly? If he can make it past, it's gonna be interesting on this straight. Goes on the outside, and what does he do, Preston? Nothing, but gets past him.
Yeah, seemed easy enough. No DRS, but with the slipstream, the boost from the slipstream, you just, yeah. And there's another incident in the
And
back
it's
of the
Jamie.
grid.
Jamie's gone really far off.
Bottas. Valtteri Bottas is missing his wing as well. There's a safety car again.
Yep. Jamie caused it. I hate to say it, but has Jamie caused this on purpose? I'm not being mean to him, but his teammate's in P3.
He's still lapped, and if he goes around, he'll still be lapped. So I'm not really sure what he can gain from it.
He's not gaining though. It's Callum. Callum's in P3, a prime position to get past Peter. He knows.
I think Jamie's going to get disqualified in a second.
And he's setting it to the wall.
Yeah.
You can't deny my thought process.
I can see what you're thinking, but I think Callum's still comfortable where he is. I don't think he's going to end up taking P1 or P2. Both drivers in front of him have fresher tyres. They've been quicker all day. I struggle to see him really keeping up.
Another damn safety car. For at least 2 laps. And then we're going to have at least 7 laps left of racing. What has this race been?
Well, something else.
I bet you're really glad you're not down there right now.
Yeah. That's Pierre Gasly gone as well.
Oh my word. Oh my word.
So now that is one driver that will not get a point today. 9 DNFs.
It's like a... I don't even know. I'd say it's like Sochi all over again. Not because of what you did at Sochi, but because of how many DNFs there was at Sochi. I mean, the safety car, I remember it. You started from P11 or P14 or something, because there was so many DNFs. And we're seeing it again. There's so many DNFs.
Yeah, 3 drivers and 6 AIs. All DNF'd.
I'm just going to say, this. I know I've said it already, but it's really played into the hands of the Alpines. I know they're under threat right now, but with their pace, the driver's getting eliminated. The only other person scoring points is McLaren today. They can just run away with it.
Yeah. Even though George and Peter are both ahead of Callum, having 2 drivers on track is just a massive points boost for McLaren. You know, they're not really fighting McLaren. It's just, yeah. Callum's really got no hope. He's just really gaining on Red Bull here.
Yeah. But maybe that's the goal. Get second this season, and if you don't race this season, Jamie and Callum together again next season. Boom. Go for first place. Progression.
It's true.
Peter's back racing apparently. Don't know why safety car was deployed in first place. I went into the runoff at turn 1 and it made safety car deploy. I DNF because I was 2 laps behind and had 8-second time pen done that under safety car. That's probably why he went into the runoff. He didn't just click retire. He went into the runoff at first and stayed there.
Yeah, I just think it was a case of he went into the runoff to try and avoid making an incident, and then it was a safety car. So I don't know.
Normally I don't sound like this on recordings, but it's just been a long race. I think you can agree as well.
Yeah.
There's, we all enjoy 100% races, but sometimes it gets painful when drivers keep getting DNF'd. But, nonetheless, safety car is finally within its lap. We'll have nothing but 7 laps remaining of racing. That should be equating to about 7 minutes of racing. Actually, I'm not even going to say it, because commentators' curse has struck us enough this race. But, hopefully, George is now weaving and waving, once again leading the pack. Will he get a good start off? It's looking like it. But so does Callum and so does Peter. Who is going to get the best corner here? Callum is right on Peter's tail, trying to stay within that time, but Peter is just pulling ahead, and Callum's already out of DRS range.
Yeah, Peter's going to be hunting George down. Oh, Peter just had a slight slip there.
Will Peter...
This is just going to be a race between the Alpines, isn't it?
It will be. Will Peter be able to pull a win for the second time in a row since winning last time out in Hungary? Will it happen here today in Jeddah? That is the question we are all wondering ourselves. But only Peter can answer that question if he can truly pull out the pace in the final, I'd say, 6.5 laps of racing here in round 9 of the DFL Championship. Don't turn it off yet, because you won't want to miss it.
Yeah, George's on way to get out DRS. This is really George's to lose, really.
I don't think he can lose that unless... I can't say it. If I say it, something bad's going to happen.
No, I just think it's George's to lose. He's been the fastest man on track throughout the whole weekend. Yeah. I don't see... He's losing time. Peter's losing time, sorry, on George, so... Yeah, I just don't really see Peter making up the gap.
Who knows what will happen? But we will sure find out in the coming 6 laps of racing. What a race it has been so far, Preston. A disappointing one, an exciting one, a horrible one, I would say, for some drivers. But the conclusion will hopefully be a good one.
And I think, yeah, all drivers would happily like to see that checkered flag now.
Who knows if that's possible? All I'm saying is there a Jeddah curse? I will actually.
No, George could break it.
Well, what I was referring to is a lot of the drivers DNFing, but that's what I was also about to say. George is going to break the pole curse, potentially here today. We probably just cursed him, haven't we?
Well, you never know.
Oh, it's hilarious. But, 5 laps to go. People, if you have enjoyed so far, please do leave a like. No, don't just leave a like. Smash that like button. Smash the subscribe button. And hit the bell so you never miss another DFL upload. Because more coming your way very soon. After. I believe it's this Grand Prix. We're actually having a change of the way the uploads work. As you would have seen, the full race and the highlights are out on the same day, so you may not be watching this video right now, but you may be watching my highlights instead. Who knows? But anyway, go check out the TikTok, go check out the Instagram, go check out all socials, go check out George's TikTok. He uploads a lot of stuff on there, and way ahead of the uploads as well, so you get to see a lot of stuff, don't you, Preston?
Yeah, you do.
And go and follow, if Preston wants to, of course. Go follow Preston, either on TikTok or Instagram or whatever. Because again, he's made a lot of stuff for the DFL. And he's helping commentating right now when he's driven for a while. So go follow him. And go follow all the drivers. Because we want to show support to everyone within the DFL. We want to make sure that everyone feels included. But enough about that. Because as I see it, Peter is closing the gap on George. And I'm sorry if I just got increasingly loud for you, Preston. And anyone wearing headphones. Because I probably just caused you to go deaf. But nonetheless, Peter is gaining on George, and could this be the end of George's hope to win? He has held it the entire time. Is the curse happening again?
Possibly, Peter's now setting 2 purple sectors. He is pushing for this.
We said that George had a chance. On the inside, Peter goes, and he gets the overtake.
Not just that though, because George will now have DRS down the next straight. This is going to be to and fro between the Alpines.
Will George be able to break the curse, or will Peter be able to steal the win from George and claim his second win in the DFL? Not only his second win, but in a row. That would be something that Peter can achieve here today. Or will George's huge defensive action hold him off? You have to watch and find out.
It'll be interesting.
But now Peter may have another go round at this. He may get another try at this. A 0.4 second gap now. He's closing it in bit by bit, and I see Preston has returned. What is your opinions on this?
Yeah, he's got to time this right because he doesn't want to overtake just going into that final corner because, as you saw, George can just get DRS on the next straight. He's got to time this correct to just stay behind ever so slightly so they get DRS on that home straight.
Yeah, look, he keeps deactivating DRS so he doesn't overtake. He's learned from last time to know that he's going to get DRS on this straight so he can pull in front, so he can take P1 if this goes successfully. Now George trying to defend it off. Going on the outside is Peter. And what does he do, Preston?
Gets the overtake done.
Exactly. Nice work by Peter, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, but I wouldn't rule George out just yet. We're right behind him. And it's now going to be George's turn to attack Peter.
But it looks Peter might be growing a gap here. Peter's actually growing a gap.
Ever so slightly, but DRS is going to bring that closer again.
No way does the curse come into fruition again. No way. This must be intense in McCall right now between them. I just want to join in hear what they're saying, but I also don't want to distract them.
DRS is on now for George. He is flying at the moment. DRS again for George. I just don't think he's quite close enough.
He might be close
He
enough
might
now.
be now.
Will Peter be able to hold him off? He's going on the straight. George with the DRS, with the ERS now. George trying to pull in front, trying to find that gap on the outside. Will he be able to pull enough? No, Peter holds it.
Just about.
George only has a few more attempts at getting this P1 back. If Peter can win this, that changes it completely. I believe, I don't know for sure, but if Peter was to win this, does he not overtake Callum potentially?
No,
he gets very
Callum
close.
finishes. If Callum wasn't to finish, he would overtake him.
But he gets very close nonetheless.
Yeah, by about 10 points.
So that pulls Peter in considerably, and with Callum potentially not racing
Not only that, but
next
George
race.
is very close now. Much closer than he was the previous lap.
With Callum not racing next race, if Peter can win this, that sets him up completely for next race. But George on the outside, but gets pushed a bit to the bit wide. But I'm not sure if he did that intentionally to make sure he gets DRS on this straight. But he's 0.5 seconds behind. George may not be able to pull this back. Peter with the bare bones of the ERS, but so does George. No one really has the advantage apart from George having the DRS. George cannot do anything. This is the final lap. Only about 2 more chances, I would say, Preston, for George.
Yeah, he's got a couple of DRS spots to keep him within contention, but he's got to time this final corner perfectly. You saw Peter fail to do it the first attempt. He perfected it in the second attempt. George is yet to find the sweet spot. We really need to see him pull off something here in order to break the curse.
The curse that evaded you from a win 2 seasons in a row, but then you eventually went on to win in the third season. Could that curse be coming true for George today? It's all to play for. George is trying all he can, but he basically only has a quarter of the track left to pull it back.
Yeah, he's right within him.
Preston, all I'm saying is I want an energetic finish to this race. It deserves it.
Yeah. George is now right behind him. He's going for a move on the outside. Can he get it move done? He's in front. Gets. Oh my god. He's going to be down to the line. They're squeezing each other. Peter's now got around him. This is it. Peter's got DRS. It's over for George. This is it. And Peter's won it. He's won the Jeddah Grand Prix. Oh my word.
The curse strikes again.
The curse does strike again.
Consecutively, 4 seasons in a row, the man on pole position has still not won a race. That is a finish for you. And coming out to take P1 in this race, the curse, as we discussed, strikes again. George held P1 the entire time, but now is on the left to the man in P1, Peter, with Callum on his right, getting P3, going from P20 to P3. Accolades all around for each of the 3 drivers. I don't think you could play any of them down this race. What a brilliant race. And we'll be back with leaderboard in a second. And here we are for your leaderboard. Peter takes P1 and his second win in a row. George, unfortunately, unluckily, takes P2 after holding P1 the entire race. Callum going from P20 to P3. And unfortunately, Jamie, Harry and Charlie all DNF this race. A very unlucky time for them 3. But a very well done to the other 3 drivers. And we'll be back next time in Singapore. Do not miss it, people.